And we're off.
My name is Courtney and I live in Woollahra in Sydney. I drive a Nissan R32 Skyline and I actually keep that car at my parents' property where we've got a few cars in the family that we all like to work on from time to time. We are currently in my place of work, which is Porsche Centre Willoughby. I'm fortunate enough to be the marketing manager for this particular dealership. My passion for cars really stems from my family. I was heavily influenced by my father and my brother growing up, and they sort of saw that interest that I had and definitely nurtured it as well, which is probably why I'm sitting in this seat today. And then it came to sort of getting my first car, and that's when I realised that there was a lot of cars to choose from and I had to sort of figure out what I really liked about a car. And that's how I got the R32 Skyline. And my brother also had an R32 GTR Skyline, so it was quite cute to have the big brother in the GTR and the little sister in the GTST.
My name's Daniel.
And my name's Nick, and we're from Wise Guys Barbershop. At the moment we're in our shed, we're in Kenthurst, about an hour and a half out of Sydney. Behind us here is our 1971 Ford Falcon XY, and this is the first car we built with our dad.
About 10 years ago, we bought the shell. We bought it in primer, kind of sitting in primer, and pretty much ground up restoration from there. So it was really a good way to learn, like start from top to bottom and go through the whole car. So yeah, this is the one that started it all.
Accelerator's full throttle.
Wise Guys we started about 3.5 years ago, and it's something that me and my brother started. The barbershop was the first that came out of it, and then we did a car club through it as well.
Escalated into what it is today. It's like it's very heavily based around the car scene, car culture and everything.
Yeah, it got to the point where 70% of our clients are into cars now, so we literally just talk cars all day.
Hi, my name's John Pananos. Behind me is a 71 model HQ Monaro. We're in the outskirts of Sydney, just northwest, in Glenorrey. My passion for cars started probably at the age of 3. My cousin had a GTR XU1 Tirana, and I could hear that from a kilometre away, and I'd call his name out before he even rocked up home. And then that progressed into getting behind the wheel at 8 years of age and driving around the property, and that's where I just pretty much cut my teeth on driving cars, and it became a part of me. For me it is about the feel of the car, being in control of a machine that people have spent thousands of hours developing and producing, and it was just being in control of it and manipulating the car how you want. My parents weren't an influence, but definitely it was my cousin Jim that was a car freak, and that's where the passion just got into the blood, and it hasn't left me since.
There's a lot of different culture that, and our meets prove that. Like, you'll show up in an old 70s car, and then there'll be like an R35 GTR that'll turn the corner as well. And the owner of that 70s car will still be wowed by the GTR, whether it's R34 or Japanese or European car, something like that. People always swap and change ideas and get different influence from other cars.
With the barbershop, like, people would come in that are into cars, but you can't really tell who's into what. I remember a particular guy, he came in And he was speaking about cars the whole time. He was speaking about like carburetors and everything. And I just assumed like Holden and Ford, like this old Australian dude. And it turned out he had like a collection of Datsuns. Like, and it was so cool. Like you can't pick it. It's so well mixed and everything.
Everyone respects cars here. I think Australians take things to another level. People build show cars here and then they go to Eastern Creek, they go to the burnout pad, and you'll see a car that costs thousands and thousands of dollars to make it look like you're looking in the mirror when you look at a paint job, and they'll just put their foot down and fry the tyres left, right and centre.
Australian car culture is very diverse. We're a multicultural country and so is our car culture, but the one thing that we're known for, probably globally, is our love of burnouts. It's loud, there's lots of smoke, there's a smell, it sort of creates an atmosphere around it straight away, and I think people can't help but smile, whether they're young or old, when someone's doing a burnout.
Where you giggle like a little schoolboy is when the tyres are spinning, and I think that, in all seriousness, I think when the tyres are frying, I think that just keeps, there's just something about it, I don't know.
When I got pulled over for an RBT, the copper looked at the car and he loved it. And as I was about to pull away, he goes, "Oh, give it a hit on the way out." And I looked at him and I thought, "No, you got to be kidding." He goes, "No, I love the car, just please do it." So I've just lined it up the street, took off, and I look in the rear view and there's a copper like this giving me the thumbs up, and I thought, I don't believe I just got away with that.
I'm just a custodian of this car, and when I first got it, it was immaculate, in beautiful condition, and I feel like I owe it to the car to always keep it that way as best as I can.
Yeah, so with our cars, like we're kind of a mix between show and go, and like we're big believers in like you can have the nicest paint job in the world, but it's not going to last more than a week if you don't take care of it properly. And like at the end of the day, you want your car to look as nice as it can, so you got to keep up with maintenance, and like after you drive it, everything, you got to keep it waxed, you got to keep it polished and everything.
I like to protect the car and have it in its state that it was designed to be from the day it rolled out. And I find that their products just enable an ease of use.
Because the car isn't heavily modified, actually, I feel like its redeeming feature is how clean it is. And for me, you know, even when I used to go out at night with my friends, it would take me an extra hour to get ready because I had to wash my car as well and then go inside and get myself ready.
It's good that people actually drive their cars and use their show cars as drivable cars and burnouts and all that sort of stuff. If you put so much time and effort, then I think the aftercare is just as important as building the whole car itself. Because I think it's like anything really, if you don't look after it, it won't look after you. Being in the barbershop game, they trust you when they sit down in that chair that that's going to happen. They're going to leave looking fresh, and I think it ties in with the cars as well. Like, and you want to show up looking good anywhere, whether it's your hair, whether it's your car, whether it's anything. You want that feel-good effect with it.
I guess when it comes to cars, I'm the kind of guy that wants to be in the car, get on the road to enjoy it, and take in the sights that this beautiful country has to offer.